China now controls 168 ports across 90 countries, a physical control system that most Americans have no idea even exists. This is the story of how the global economy was rewired. While we focused on military power, China secured 70% of the global crane market. They now operate the logistics platforms that track shipments worldwide, including sensitive military cargo. The Belt and Road Initiative now includes nearly 150 states, covering 75% of the world's population. It isn't just an economic network, it's a physical control system built over 25 years. Since 2000, China has provided $24 billion for port projects across 90 countries. In 35% of these cases, they maintain ownership or operational control. They don't just invest, they stay. When China operates a port, they control shipping schedules, logistics coordination, and berth allocation. If your business depends on these routes, they effectively control your supply chain timeline. China has positioned itself at every global choke point. From the Suez Canal to the Mediterranean, they've built redundancy and alternative pathways that bypass traditional Western routes. The intelligence implications are staggering. Through platforms like LogInc, China captures real-time data on transportation, pricing, and the management of goods, including military equipment. Every time you ship through these ports, they potentially know what you're moving and where it's going. This is economic intelligence gathering at a scale we've never seen before. For a manufacturer depending on just-in-time delivery, the real leverage isn't military, it's commercial. They can slow down operations or create technical difficulties at any moment. This control extends through giants like Costco, operating over 1,300 vessels worldwide. They control not just where ships dock, but the ships themselves and the entire logistics network. China holds $700 billion in U.S. debt, but they are systematically diversifying. They are shifting into assets that give them operational control rather than just financial exposure. Hundreds of U.S. companies now have Chinese investment exposure, strategic positions in critical supply chains, from GE Appliances to Motorola and Smithfield Foods. When China controls Smithfield, the largest pork producer in America, they control a piece of our food supply. Their Chinese parent holds the ultimate authority over long-term strategy. The most sophisticated lever is payment infrastructure. WeChat Pay and Alipay now command 90% of the digital payments landscape in China and are expanding globally. China's e-CNY and the mBridge platform directly challenge SWIFT. They enable near-instant, low-cost transactions that eliminate Western intermediaries entirely. Every transaction generates data about supply chain relationships. China potentially knows not just what you're buying, but when, where, and who you're doing business with. Beyond ports and payments, China controls the raw materials. They mine 60% and process 80% of the world's rare earth elements, the building blocks of all modern tech. They produce 94% of the world's permanent magnets. These aren't luxury items. They are critical for everything from your smartphone to the F-35 fighter jet. In 2025, China intensified export controls on rare earths. The impact was immediate. European prices reached 6 times those in China, hurting global cost competitiveness. China has inserted itself as the gatekeeper. They now dominate key green technologies. Over 75% of battery manufacturing and 80% of solar module production. Reliance on a single supplier increases vulnerability to shocks. If you're building a career in green tech, you're building it on a foundation that China can disrupt at any time. While America spent $919 billion on national defense in 2025, China was investing $213 billion in infrastructure. We project power through force. They project it through ownership. Since 2013, China has invested $1.4 trillion in the Belt and Road, creating a parallel economic system that increasingly bypasses American influence entirely. They are building the energy infrastructure of tomorrow. Their Belt and Road investments are positioning them to control the supply chains for the next decade of growth. While we build weapon systems for threats that may never materialize, China is building the economic reality that every business will have to navigate. Military superiority is becoming irrelevant. China's most sophisticated control is through technology transfer requirements. To gain market access, multinational firms must share their proprietary know-how with Chinese partners. As executives describe it, voluntary is the new mandatory. Market access now depends on sharing your innovation, which is then used to compete against you worldwide. By 2025, China's tech system became largely self-sustaining. The window for preventing their technological independence through export controls is rapidly closing. This new reality requires a shift from optimizing for efficiency to building resilience. The companies that thrive will be those that build competitive independence from Chinese-controlled chains. This is a permanent restructuring of global commerce. Subscribe for more geopolitical business analysis and learn how to protect your future in the next economy.